Hello, my name is Kelvin, and today I'll be giving you a brief presentation on time management for engineers. Time management is important in every job. It starts with a commitment to change. As an engineer, you'll be faced with many challenges, from project budgeting to project design, and maximizing your time is important, and minimizing wasted time is a big advantage when it comes to meeting deadlines. Time management will become easier and easier when wasted time is recognized and techniques and methods are put in place to correct the problems. Time management comes down to being able to properly plan, prioritize, and delegate certain jobs to other people so you can free up time for yourself. The key to successful time management comes from planning. And once you have a plan, you got to protect that plan. People who say that they have ran out of time usually has failed to plan out their day and plan it out effectively. As engineers or any professional, if you plan what to do, when to do it, and then stick to it, then you will have time to complete that task. To achieve this, conditioning is very important. Conditioning and then reconditioning your environment. For people who have demand placed on them, like engineers, this requires managing the expectation of other people. Time management is about conditioning your environment and not allowing your environment to condition you. Time management has an enormous impact on your company and organization that you work in. If you are unable to manage your time wisely and effectively, then most likely you are going to be unable to meet company deadlines. And if you're unable to meet company deadlines, the company is going to suffer. And the company usually suffer in monetarily. The first thing you need to realize is, how do you spend your time? Think about how you spend your day, and then make a time log of how you spent your day. I would like to take a few minutes for the class to write down what they have done today. When you do this, try to put a time with an activity. Say 8 o'clock you ate breakfast, 9 o'clock you went running. For each hour in the day, try to remember your activity and write it down, and in a few seconds we're going to review it. Okay. Well, I done gave you a few seconds. If some of you are still writing, just continue writing. Just listen to my voice. After you have written down what you have done, I would like you to separate your activities into two columns: important and non-important activities. Okay, for a moment we're going to say important activity means things that need to be done immediately, things that cannot wait, things if it went lacking, you as an engineer or your company will suffer from it. That's what we're going to use as a definition of important. And non-important means just that, things that could have been done at a later date, things that is not crucial for today's activity, things that if you do not do at that present time, or if they don't get done today, nothing of importance is going to come from it. Okay? Now, once you have identified these non-essential items, throughout the week, I'd like you to try to notice and see if you catch yourself continually doing these items. If you see that you are taking a nap at the same time each day, your time log is going to reflect that. And say you take it at 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, you take a nap. Tomorrow, at 12 o'clock, don't take a nap. Try to do something that's going to be productive in that day. Use your time log to see at what time you are doing activities that are not positive for your day-to-day life. Things that are hindering you from actually meeting the task that you need to be meeting. And a time log is a great way to see that. And when you're doing this time log, be honest. It's your time log. This is a tool to help you manage your time better. So, if you're lying on your time log, you're not doing anything but lying to yourself and hurting yourself. Be honest. This time log is going to tell you at what time of the day your time is not being spent the best. And you're going to recognize that, and you will be able to correct that. Plan time slots for emails and posts. We all know this is a technology age. Everybody have a computer. Everybody surf the internet. Everybody posts. We all have some type of social media. That's all great. But do not let your emails, posts, and social media get in the way of you completing the task that you need to be completing. Email is a big one. Plan time slots to check emails and posts, but do not deal with each one just then. Most email, you just simply need to acknowledge them. When you pull up your Google account or your company account, go through it. If you see it's something that is of importance, and we saying important, we're going back to that definition that I gave you earlier. Something that is essential for today. Something that if it don't get done, your company is going to suffer, or you are going to suffer, or your deadline is not going to be met. That's the definition of important that we're using. And when you're going through your emails, look, if it's important, respond to it. You need to. If it's not important, if it's something from your friend, if it's, I don't know, some spam account, just ignore it. You do not need to respond to that right now. The same thing that go with phone calls. Plan time slots for returning phone calls. Don't just make them when you feel like it, or if you remember it. If you're supposed to made a phone call at 9 o'clock and it's 12 o'clock now because you just remember it, do not just stop what you're doing and make that phone call. If you have your day planned out, continue doing what you planned on doing, and when you come to a break in your day, or when you come to a actual planned break, then make that call. Don't let things in the future predict your present. Don't let things that you've done in the future or forgot to do make you more behind throughout your day. Plan and schedule things sensibly and logically. Try to kill two birds with one stone. When you are checking your emails, if you're able to return a phone call, do it. If you are making a phone call, check your emails. Whenever you can kill two birds with one stone, do it. Save time. If you can save time somewhere, that means if you're lacking time somewhere else, it'll balance each other out. Challenge anything that could be wasting your time and effort, particularly habitual tasks, like I was saying before, the surfing the internet, checking emails, all these social media sites, things like that, things that you know you shouldn't be doing, and you do them often. Eliminate it. And I'm not saying just quit cold turkey. If you know you spend 2 hours a day on social media, cut it down to an hour. And I guarantee that extra hour in your day, you will see a more positive trend in your work. Review your activities in terms of long-term and short-term goals, and prioritize your activities accordingly. Again, this is a big one. If you are given a task and you know for a fact you cannot finish it in 3 months, then that means you should put it in a long-term category, so you can have more time to work on to meet your goal. If you prioritize something as being a short-term goal, and you know for a fact it's going to at least take you 6 months or more, but if you say a short-term goal, that means you have allocated 3 months to get this done. So that's going to be time that you take it away from something else to put in this project that you know that should be taking you 6 months. If you know it's going to take longer, set it to a long-term goal. Then you're able to allocate less chunks of your time over a longer period to meet your goal. Use a diary and activity planner to schedule when things are due. Publish or display it and try to stick to it. Great idea. If you have something that needs to be done at 12, make you a sticky. Put it by somewhere that you know you're going to look or know you're going to pass at 12 o'clock. Just a little yellow sticky. So when you pass it by your cubicle or you on your computer at that time at 12 o'clock, you can say, oh, I got to make a phone call. If you are subject to demand and request by others in your organization and need to recondition the expectation of your availability and the claim on your time, like I was saying before, for time management, planning, delegation, and organization is important. Like delegation go both ways. Someone can delegate something to you, and you can delegate something to them. But if you know you do not have the time to do it, do not take on an extra project. Make sure that your stuff, that you have enough time to complete your activities before taking on someone else's. You should produce a weekly schedule showing your planned activities and time slots for everything you do. Again, very important. Helping you to explain and justify to others why you must prioritize the schedule demands from others when it suits you. If you have your schedule written down, what you need to do, when you need to do it, when someone comes to you and say, hey, can you help me do this project, or can you collaborate with me? You can say, well, I would love to, but this is my schedule. I am booked. I cannot take on any other project. Vice versa. If you know your schedule is packed, you can go to a coworker that you know that is not as busy. You can say, hey, look, I need some help. My schedule is booked. Can you help me? So keeping this time log can actually account when you can or can't help anybody, and it can justify your actions. Be absolutely firm when dealing with time allocated to meetings, paperwork, telephones, and visitors. If you have a time slotted for a telephone call and a visitor walk in, just let them know, I'm sorry, I have a conference call at this time, or I have a scheduled appointment at this time. Don't get in the habit to, once you make a plan, try to rearrange them plans to fit other people's needs. This is time management for you. This is trying to get you to the point to where you can manage your time effectively, efficiently to get your job done. When you keep a time log, see how much time is being wasted and take control. If you keep a weekly activity schedule, you will be able to control the time allotted for your task. Like I was saying before, if you write every day now, say if you doing a project and you know it should take you 30 minutes, but you wrote down in your time log that it actually took you an hour. So you'll know by that time log the next time you do that same activity at a later date, you'll know you need to speed up your action, or you need to know, hey look, last time this took me 30 minutes longer than it should have. I need to do something differently. I need to make another plan of attack so that this 30-minute project can actually last 30 minutes. Review all regular reports you write, receive for usefulness, and make recommended changes. Set up acceptable template in regular weekly and monthly reports you write, so you only need to slot in the updated figures and narratives each time. Meaning, if you were to set up a time log, or not even a time log, say if you got a process at your work that it's repetitive, if you are able to set up a good enough or an accurate enough spreadsheet, time log, whatever it may be, if you can set it up accurately, that means when something goes wrong or something different happens, you don't have to go back and write that whole report. You can just plug it in from a report that you had. So this saying, we would like, you want to work smarter, not harder. Whenever you can eliminate certain things, do it. Pre-make reports. If you know at a certain day you got to do a certain audit or something, go ahead and have the forms filled out. So that would save you time, and when that time comes from that audit, all you have to do is fill out your audit findings. Whenever you can save time, save it. Learn to say no. Big one also. Politely. Again, someone come to you. Hey, can you help me out? Can you help me do this project? If you can't do it, tell them, no, I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm busy. I have projects of my own I need to get done. They'll understand. Don't make a ride of your own back. Be careful about accepting side delegation by your peers to you. If you find it difficult to say no, you'll find it easier by using business reasons to justify your actions. For example, I understand that this is urgent, but I have other priorities which I must deal with first for the good of the business. I'd rather agree to a realistic deadline with you than one which I can't meet. And show people your schedule to justify. They'll understand. If somebody comes to you, hey, I got a deadline due in 2 days. Can you help me? I'm sorry. I have work to do of my own for the company. But I can't do it now. But if I can help you next week with my schedule free up, I would love to help you at that time. I got 10 time management tips that I think would prove useful for your day-to-day life, your day-to-day work life. 1. Recognize that we all do things for our own good. Meaning, We all like to watch TV. We like to search the internet. We like to make phone calls and talk to our buddies. But we do not need to make those things that we like to do interfere with the things that we need to do. If you know you need to be working on a report, your buddy can wait. 2, think about what you would be able to achieve short, long, and long term if you manage your time more effectively. Again, that was what I was talking about before. If you know you can't do something right now, if you know it's not truly a short-term goal, short-term activity, put it in the long-term activity. Let the management know, let your bosses know, hey, look, you know, you want this in 3 months. This can't be done in 3 months. I can get it for you in 4 months. You do not want to take on tasks that you know you do not have the time for, that you know the time that you are allocating or the time that other people are allocating to you is unrealistic. Or your boss comes to you, hey, I need this in 3 months. Well, can we can we collaborate with somebody? Can I get somebody to help me? 3, learn to recognize the activity that you usually do instead of tasks you are putting off. When you find yourself doing those activities, take notice. Start your day by doing the most important thing and get it accomplished first. So, if you know you need to write a report when you go into work, start on your report. Get the most important things done. If you get your most important things done on your activity log done first, you'll have time to make those phone calls. You'll have time to do what you need to do. 4, plan your task by asking 3 questions: results, activities, and priorities. Results: what outcome do I need to accomplish? Activities: what do I need to accomplish for those outcomes? Priorities: what are the priorities here? Is it something that can be put off? Is it something I need to do now? Is it urgent? Is it important? Prioritizing is very, very important in time management. As most of you know, you do not want to get stuck in the rut of doing something first just because it come in first if it's not the most important thing. Prioritize things. The most important things get done first, and everything else trickle afterwards. 5, plan your time by asking 3 questions. Time estimated: how much time will each activity require? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with your coworkers. Be honest with your managers. If you know for a fact it cannot get done in the time they asking you to do it, let them know up front. Maybe something else can be done. Maybe they can extend your time. But do not agree to time restraints that you know for a fact you cannot meet. Schedule: when would I do each activity? Your time log, your activity is a great way to remedy this. Make sure you have your to-do list planned for the week. Go ahead and write out what you need to do so you'll know what you need to do. If you finish a task early one day, get started on the task you got to do tomorrow. That means if you can eliminate time from each day by doing it the day prior, that means at the end of the week you're going to have time to do what you want to do. Flexibility: how much flexibility must I allow for surprises? Important. Things come up. People get sick. Processes and plants go down. Things come up. And you need to allocate and allow time for that. 7, break your activities into small chunks, bite size. to reduce anxiety and resistance that come to taking on overwhelming projects. We all know when we get overwhelmed, our mind shuts down. That is not good. Instead of trying to tackle a big project or anything head on, head on, break it down. Say, hey, I can do this now. I'm gonna take a break. I'll come back and do this. Take a break and do this. Do not try to just overwhelm yourself. If you overwhelm yourself and you get stressed out, you're never going to complete that task. And if you do complete it, it's not going to be at your best. If you know that the task is a quick one and you are spending too much time on it, then you may need to get over your need to perfection and over completion. Guarantee there are some tasks that may need to be close to perfect as possible, but if you are holding most or all of that task up aloft standards, then you are setting yourself up for frustration and stress. Saying, trying to be perfect is good at times, but when your perfection is causing you to spend unnecessary time on projects, it's a problem. That's why it's important to allocate time for each thing. Don't get into the rut of trying to overanalyze or overdo something. If you complete a task and you know that you've done it right, go on to something else. Do not keep revisiting that task saying, oh man, if I do this, would it be better? If I do this, would it be better? If this happened, would it be better? Trust your judgment. Know when to stop. Plan to work on tasks for a certain amount of time and honor that time. Use a timer. Plan a phone call or break for lunch. Schedule something that sets clear boundaries for when the work on a task or subtask is finished. Like I was saying before, working yourself is not good. You need to take breaks. When you write down when a project is going to be complete, let it be complete. Do not stress yourself out. Like I was saying before, if you stress yourself, your project is not going to be the best that it can be, and it could be physically draining on you. Stress is not good for anyone, and over analyzing things and trying to be too perfect will stress you. And 10, ask for help. Partner with friend, colleague, coach, partners, someone to help. Identify where you need to improve. Improve accountability and celebrate your success. Like I was saying, delegation. Delegation is big in industry. If you know that one of your subordinates can do something, let them do it. Free up your time. But don't forget, if you delegate something to your subordinate, you cannot delegate responsibility. So, although you delegated that to your subordinate, make sure, or even your colleague, make sure you go back and check on it. Make sure it's done. You do not have to do the work, but make sure it's done to company policy, to company spec, to company SOP. Because if that project was given to you, then you're going to be responsible for it. So delegation is big in time management. But just remember, you can delegate authority. You can delegate authority and project, but you cannot delegate responsibility. So like I was telling you before, and this is my ending note, time management, it comes down to three simple things. Properly planning, plan out your week, plan out everything. If you can plan it out, then you can physically see it. Then if there's a problem in your plan, you can fix it, potentially fix it before you execute it, before you carry it out. Prioritize. Do the most important things first. If you can get the most important things first, and if you run out of time, and the most important things are done first, then it really don't matter if you have done the task that you was assigned that day. So get the most important things done. Prioritize. And delegation. Delegate whenever you can, but just remember, you cannot delegate responsibility. But delegation can free up your time. My name is Kelvin McLemore, and I hope my presentation on time management for engineers can be a help to you and help you manage your time more wisely. Thank you.